This presentation is prepared for the research students working in various research institutes and in industry. The students are expected to know the needs of the industry and can play an important role in its advancement of the pharmaceutical sector. The government, industry, and academia need to collaborate to work towards a common goal. Today's topic is on anti-TB drug pyrazinamide, a case study. Let us first know the history of tuberculosis. Tuberculosis or TB is an infectious disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria. It was first discovered in 1882 by Robert Koch. TB is number one cause of death as an infectious disease. The discovery of TB drugs started from 1940. The oral dose of para-aminosalicylic acid or PAS was received for the first time in 1944. The first clinical treatment of TB with streptomycin was also in 1944. It arrested pulmonary tuberculosis. This led to the Nobel Prize to Professor Waxman. However, streptomycin injection was very painful. Also, after long-term therapy, there was drug resistance. There was also toxicity of the drug. In 1951, isoniazid was discovered. Three companies, Bayer Chemical, Squibb, and Hoffmann La Roche, made the discovery of isoniazid. Isoniazid was 10 times more potent than any previously tested drugs and it appeared to be non-toxic. The drugs needed to be used in combination in order to avoid the development of drug resistance. Therefore, triple therapy of isoniazid, streptomycin, and PAS became the standard therapy for the next 15 years until the availability of rifampicin in the year 1960. Drug resistance is growing problem. Therefore, multiple drug resistant tuberculosis or MDR-TB is increasing. The line of treatment is very important in tuberculosis. In first line treatment, pyrazinamide, rifampicin, isoniazid, and ethambutol are used. They are FDA approved drugs for the treatment of TB infections. The combination and duration on medications rely on whether the patient has active or latent disease. Persons with latent TB infection do not feel sick and do not have any symptoms. They cannot spread TB infections to others. Second line treatment drugs are kanamycin and amikacin via injection. Fluoroquinolones such as gatifloxacin, levofloxacin are also amongst the common second line agents. They are used when drug resistance develops to the first line agents. They are also used for MDR-TB. For multi-drug resistance TB, that is MDR-TB, recently received FDA approval for pretomanid used in sequence with bedaquiline and linezolid. Now let us focus on pyrazinamide. Pyrazinamide is a very important anti-tuberculous agent for first line treatment. It is white crystalline powder, stable at room temperature and sparingly soluble in water. Pyrazinamide may be used alone or with other medications such as rifampicin, isoniazid, and either streptomycin or ethambutol. This slide shows the conventional synthesis of pyrazinamide. The key starting material for synthesis of pyrazinamide are orthophenylene diamine and glyoxal. Quinoxaline is prepared from orthophenylene diamine and glyoxal or glyoxal sodium bisulfite. Quinoxaline is further oxidized with potassium permanganate to 2,3-pyrazine dicarboxylic acid. It is freely soluble in water. Melting point is 183 to 185 degrees centigrade. 2,3-pyrazine dicarboxylic acid is decarboxylated using high boiling solvent to pyrazine carboxylic acid, which is slightly soluble in cold water. It is further esterified and converted to amide by ammonia gas. Manufacturing stages involves 1. Manufacturing of pyrazine 2,3-dicarboxylic acid, 2. Manufacturing of pyrazine 2-carboxylic acid, and 3. Manufacturing of pyrazinamide. For manufacturing pyrazine 2,3-dicarboxylic acid, quinaxalin was prepared using orthophenylene diamine and 40% Glaxol in water using caustic soda in SS316 reactor. Quinoxalin was further oxidized in the same reactor with potassium permanganate to pyrazine 2,3-dicarboxylic acid. Manganese dioxide formed in the process was centrifuged. The filtrate and washings were collected. MnO2 precipitated is very slimy in nature and gave lot of problems while centrifuging. It is advisable to use filter press for this unit process. Pyrazine 2,3-dicarboxylic acid is highly soluble in water, therefore it is converted to insoluble barium salt. The barium salt was prepared using barium chloride by adjusting the pH. Barium salt was centrifuged. The salt was converted to free acid using minimum quantity of water in HDPE vessel by acidifying with sulfuric acid. The barium sulfate form was centrifuged. The filtrate and washings were combined and concentrated in glass-lined reactor. Separated pyrazine 2,3-dicarboxylic acid was centrifuged and dried in tray dryer. Pyrazine 2,3-dicarboxylic acid obtained was decarboxylated using high boiling propionic acid to pyrazine 2-carboxylic acid in glass-lined reactor at 130 degrees centigrade. It was cooled to 5 degrees centigrade and centrifuged and dried. Propionic acid was recovered by distillation for next batch. Pyrazine 2-carboxylic acid was converted into ester by refluxing in methanol using sulfuric acid as a catalyst in a glass-lined reactor. Part of the methanol was distilled and ammonolysis was carried out of methyl ester to give pyrazinamide crude. Pyrazinamide crude was purified and decolorized using activated carbon in solvent methanol. Methanol was further recovered by distillation for further use. Equipments required for manufacturing of pyrazinamide are stainless steel 316 reactor for oxidation reaction with potassium permanganate, HDPE or FRP vessel for conversion of barium salt to dicarboxylic acid, glass-lined reactor for decarboxylation and recovery of propionic acid, glass-lined reactor for esterification of pyrazinoic acid and for crude pyrazinamide, SS316 reactor for purification and sparkler filter for charcoal filtration, SS316 centrifuge, MS rubber line centrifuge, tray dryers or fluidized bread dryer. Stage wise yield, first stage, that is OPD to dicarboxylic acid, yield was 49.63%. It took 34 hours. Second stage, dicarboxylic acid to monocarboxylic acid, yield was 92% of theory. It took 12 hours. Third stage, monocarboxylic acid to pyrazinamide, the yield was 80% of the theory and it took 13 hours. So total time cycle was 60 hours. The raw material consumption and cost was calculated by considering the recovery of solvent. Raw material cost was about rupees 3000 per kg and selling price was rupees 3700 per kg. Conversion cost worked out at rupees 300. That involved electricity, water, labor, depreciation, etc. Costing wise, process was viable, but it was very lengthy and tedious. There was production constraint as number of reactors were required. But the export and domestic market was excellent for the pyrazinamide. Therefore, there was urgent need to change the route of manufacturing. Ultimately, the new route was successfully tried when 2-cyanopyrazine was available from Japan. This route involved stirring of 2-cyanopyrazine with dilute sodium hydroxide at 75 degrees centigrade for 3 hours. 2-cyanopyrazine is a liquid having boiling point 87 degrees centigrade at 6 mm pressure and molecular weight 105.1. Its specific gravity is 1.173. It was treated with very dilute solution of sodium hydroxide to obtain pyrazinamide. Yields were excellent. The side products was pyrazine carboxylic acid. It was isolated and converted to pyrazinamide. The reaction mechanism is the base catalase nitride hydrolysis. It starts with a nucleophilic addition of sodium hydroxide ion to CN triple bond, forming an intermediate with a negative charge on the nitrogen, which quickly removes a proton, transforming into an imidic acid. The imidic acid is then deprotonated by the base, and after another proton transfer, the amide is formed. The raw material cost from 2-cyanopyrazine was about 1100 rupees per kg, and selling price was rupees 1500 per kg after considering the recovery of methanol. The equipments required: SS316 reactors with column condenser receivers and SS316 centrifuges, dryers, sparkler filter for charcoal treatment. There was no need of glass line reactor. Pyrazinamide was very important API for us, as it had very high domestic consumption and also enjoyed good export market. India was also world leader in manufacturing sulfamethoxazole, trimethoprim, paracetamol, ibuprofen, isoniazid, etc. Pyrazinamide was one of them. All manufacturers were following OPD route till the availability of 2-cyanopyrazine. The OPD process involved many stages with number of raw materials and solvents. Time required for getting the final product was about 60 hours. Number of reactors were required, including glass-line reactors. Utility cost and labor required was very high. Moreover, there was formation of slimy precipitate of manganese dioxide, giving filtration problem as well as disposal problem. Overall process was cumbersome and tedious. There were number of domestic players manufacturing pyrazinamide, and their manufacturing capacity was very high. All of a sudden, pyrazinamide prices were drastically dropped in international market. This was a great shock to the Indian manufacturers, and immediate action was needed. During the search, they found that 2-cyanopyrazine is available from Japan at very competitive rate of rupees 1200 per kg. The process was immediately changed from OPD route to 2-cyanopyrazine route. The new process from 2-cyanopyrazine was a single step process and with very clean reaction. Process had many advantages besides the increase in production capacity. This slide shows a monograph of pyrazinamide in Indian Pharmacopoeia. The pyrazinamide API was analyzed and approved as per the specifications. The sparkler filter is used during purification and carbon treatment. The liquid with suspended carbon particles is passed through sparkler filter. Suspended carbon particles are retained on filter plate. Clean filtrate emerges out from the bottom outlet, is pumped into other vessel for crystallization. Fluidized bed dryer is extensively used in pharmaceutical industries to reduce the moisture content or drying of API pharmaceutical powder and granules. The wet solids are lifted from the bottom and suspended in stream of air. It gives uniform drive.